106.3 FM Benin. As usual, I am your host, Ohis Ebereme, and it has been so long. Unfortunately, we couldn't come on Friday due to unforeseen and uncontrollable circumstances, but we're here today and we have a lot of things to update you on, especially the FIFA Forward Enterprise, which has been shelved by Gianni Infantino after severe backlash from pretty much everyone, especially UEFA and CONCACAF. Because Combo didn't say much. CAF were probably entirely um, supportive of it, but UEFA and CONCACAF voiced their displeasure and heavily criticized the whole idea. The Swiss Italian Gianni Infantino, the FIFA president, had no other option but to shelve the plans, which means that Tribe Eternal, which is led by Donald Trump's son-in-law's brother Joshua Kushner, will not have any investments in future FIFA tournaments, especially the World Cup, because UEFA, the Prime Minister of Great Britain, and pretty much a lot of people said that it is not FIFA's to sell and that football is not an asset. All right, it's a people's game, and people will always be the major determinants of what goes and how it will go. All right, the FIFA president has been credited for a lot of adjustments, innovations, and good ideas, initiatives, especially the 48 team format for the World Cup, and so many other innovations which have been applauded, but this actually wasn't supported in any way. So many statements from UEFA, from CONCACAF will not be able to, but we might be able to read a few. Of course, Amadou Melvin Pinnick, the former FIFA president and the deputy chairman of FIFA team competitions, went on one of these stations and defended the proposal and everything else. Of course, he was standing alone, as others, mostly the stakeholders of football, said no to the proposal. So it has been shelved. But that isn't the only problem that Infantino have right now. The only problem that Infantino has right now, it is troubling for him, because UEFA have decided to withdraw their support for his re-election. He has been there for 10 years and overseen 3 World Cup tournaments, if I'm not mistaken, 2018, 22, and 26 here. 3 World Cup tournaments, and he was looking forward to Portugal, Morocco, and Spain co-hosting the 2030 World Cup. Let us see if he will be allowed to continue as FIFA president, because his backers have decided to withdraw their backing on account of this proposal, which I think wasn't well thought out. For me, he would have sat down with stakeholders before bringing this proposal to bear to the forefront. So it was a unilateral decision which has since been severely criticized. All right, so that is for the FFE. The Super Falcons of Nigeria initially lost their first game in Morocco to the Scorchers of Malawi, led by the Chiwango sisters. Brilliant players, Tenwa and Tabita, great players who have done so well for their club sides and their national team as well. The Scorchers of Malawi actually scored the Super Falcons, defeated them by 3-2, something that was least expected because it was their first match in WAFCON tournament. And of course, since they have the brilliant duo of Tenwa and Tabita, it was going to be a tough match. Some people say that the Super Falcons probably underestimated their opponents, but I think everyone in Africa, of course in the world, is aware of the threat that the Chawinga sisters actually bring to any game. They have led the scorers charts in their respective or at their respective clubs. so many times, and it would definitely be counterproductive or self-inflicting to underestimate the Chewinga sisters. Well, they both scored. Tenwa scored a brace in that match, and her sister also scored one of the goals, and Malawi defeated the Super Falcons by 3 goals to 2, which started raising eyebrows. Of course, people came pretty much condemned the Super Falcons. That is what is expected when you lose. Failure has no friend, but success has many friends. A lot of people came down heavy on the Super Falcons, which they deserved because of how they played. The goals came very late. A penalty dispatched by Rashidat Ajibade, who is our skipper, as well as Uchenna Kalu, who scored a consolation goal. The Malawi wrapped up the match with Tenwa and Tabitha Chewinga scoring 3 goals, 2 for Tenwa, 1 for her elder sister Tabitha. The Super Falcons definitely resurged, came back from defeat, and in the second match had to put one over the Copper Queens of Zambia. Well, it was a very tough match because they've got Barbara Banda, who is no stranger to big occasions. She definitely played to her strengths, delivered on the night, even though she didn't score a goal. But Oluwatosin Blessing Demehin was red carded in the 40th minute of that encounter, which meant that the Super Falcons had a numerical disadvantage and had to hold on with 10 men for the vast majority of the, well, not the vast majority, but 50 minutes of the encounter, the entire second half, and the last 5 minutes of the first half, in addition to stoppage time, the first and second half, respectively. Asisat Oshoala, who is affectionately called Agbabola,